Calais jungle, a migrant encampment based in North France. A burden to some, home to others, but to volunteers travelling from all over the world, it is a humanitarian issue with people in need of help. I travelled to Calais with the Calais Refugee Action Group to get an idea of the type of work they do and to gauge the impact volunteers have on the lives of the people living there. 26 volunteers travelled from Cambridge to help in what way they could. The plan on day one was to conduct a major clean-up of the camp, as hygiene and sanitation are major issues. This was coordinated by Help for Refugee Children, and Daniela, one of the clean-up coordinators, explained to us the plan for the day.
So we're Help for Refugee Children. We're the ones doing the clean-up event, organising the clean-up event. We did it last time, it was really successful, so we hope this time is going to be exactly the same. Just a few things to bear in mind before we go in. People are sleeping right now. They usually try and cross over during the night time, so they wake up late. So please be very mindful not to make too much noise, not to talk too loudly. Just as a health and safety measure, we'll stick in groups of 10. So we'll try and divide, I think, ourselves here. There was a little bit of tension in the camp the last few days. People have been arguing, so we want to avoid any sort of confrontation. I usually just tell people, if you see someone that's smiling at you, smile back. If they want to shake hands with you, shake hands. Usually just say hello and be friendly. I think that's why the hostility has come along, because people are just not communicating enough with the camp residents.
It was quite clear from the offset that there was a heavy reliance on volunteers and aid agencies to attempt to improve the conditions of the camp. The volunteers headed into the camp to go to the pre-planned areas that were in most need of a clean-up.
So last time, in a period of 2 days, we were able to clean a third of the camp thoroughly. We cleaned landfills. Yeah, it was really, really good. So we hope that this time we'll be able to do the same. Shadi has told us from ACTED that the main areas we'll be focusing on is an area where a school is going to be built, but it's quite dirty. So that's where we're going to start off this morning.
Donald Adey, a Cambridge City Councillor, joined the convoy to show his support and do his bit. I spoke with him to gain an insight into his trip and thoughts on the situation.
I'm quite horrified to see the conditions these people are living in. You can see the water around, you can see the filth around. You also see smiling, friendly faces of folk who want to improve their lives. They've fled from a totally situation we can't understand at all. They're helping. The team's trying to pick up litter today and clean the water courses so the water flows. They're coming and helping us, and they're all, not a single person has looked at us with the growl. They look at us very welcoming. We're speaking a whole range of languages. The number of volunteers is amazing. There's people from Sweden, people from Italy. You sort of start to lose track of who you've actually bumped into and spoken to. I don't know how I expected it to be, really. The last time I came was the weekend before the French destroyed a whole section of the camp. So I think this is far more compact. There's so many people in a short area. I mean, you can see round about us, this was the type of thing I was helping build in February. Prefabricated, like a jigsaw puzzle, sloping roof so the water falls off. The amount of effort that goes in, the money has to be raised to buy the materials, which they get at good prices. Then they've got to build it all, bring it here, erect it. It's a tremendous humanitarian effort because we care about people.
I spoke with Mary Jones, organiser of the Jungle Books Kids restaurant, to see how she is helping the unaccompanied children in the camp.
So welcome to the kids' restaurant. This is where we look feeding most of the unaccompanied minors, try and give them 2 good meals a day and the access to tea, biscuits, and lots of, as you can see, lots of donations of crisps, etc. We've got, it's run by the community, so the cooks are members of the community, so it helps because they can speak the language of the kids who come in. We do like massive big pots of rice every day, kabuli rice, and with halal meat, because that means that the kids feel more at home. And then in the space we've got sofas, television, we've got Xboxes and pool, etc. So the kids can actually just act like any other kid, any other teenage kids, relaxing, being with their friends. Places they can go during the day, but when the other places close, then they just congregate here, and they're here till midnight, past midnight. Now at the moment it's Ramadan, so they often sort of take their food and they might eat in the community with other friends, but this is their sort of where they come to. If they've got a problem, they call us. We do English classes, we've got French classes as well, and then we also have try and give them support with asylum, family reunification. We have just now we just have a politician here. We've got social workers coming from England who help doing like home visits, and we work very closely with the legal centre to start the process of family reunification. So it's kind of giving them any support and hopefully just making it possible for them to leave. Our big objective is to empty this place, and so there are no more unaccompanied minors and they're going off to live their lives.
The second day was to be spent volunteering in the appropriately named warehouse. The warehouse is a dedicated space created to collect, sort and house donations to ultimately be distributed to people living in the camp. This attracts dozens of volunteers weekly to help with a variety of manual and demanding tasks, from building shelters to boxing up clothing and bedding kits.
So at the start of the day we're all given different jobs, and my job was to sort the incoming deliveries. Vans come up and drop off mixed goods, and we have to sort of bag those and sort them.
The warehouse is run by a French organisation called L'Auberge des Migrants. We managed to speak to Mel, the distribution coordinator, to get an insight into the warehouse and the key role that it plays. She's been involved in work here for over 6 months, purely as a volunteer.
When I came here originally, I spent 4 days making men's full kits at the time, where it's just like underwear, socks, hats, scarves, t-shirts, long sleeve top jumpers. We'd make them out to go for distribution. Then I ended up being part of the distribution team, and then during my time being part of it, it's about just under a month I'd been here when the eviction of the south side happened, and I took on the responsibility for creating first aid points in the camp and then filling them up with doctors and nurses and paramedics, whilst also simultaneously going to distributions. And then the distribution coordinator at the time left, and then I became distribution coordinator. It's such an amazing place where you have so many different opportunities, whether it be from sorting clothes and preparing the distribution and needs to go out for the day, to shoes, to the hygiene, to doing the children's stuff, to then sorting out, boxing them, then going to storage, or then going into the build team, where it's like building stuff for the warehouse or putting up UN tents, or being part of like the welcome caravan, which like greets people who've just arrived into the camp, preparing a tent for them and a welcome pack, also distributing blankets and sleeping bags for those who have been here for a while, to then going to the woodyard, working in the woodyard with chop saws and cutting everything up, and then distributing wood alongside cold food so people can actually cook their food, to then cold food, we're making packages that go out to people weekly to then hot food, which distribute hot food once a day as well. And then you've got all the other aspects in camp, which is like teaching, and then the refugee info bus, and then the youth centre and the women and children's centre. The possibilities are practically endless. It is the core, it's the heart of the operation. Without this and without people to come in and help us in the Wales, we can send nothing there.
The last couple of days I've been in the camps and also in the warehouse. In the camp we picked up a lot of rubbish and cleared out a lot of areas, tidied up a lot, and then in the warehouse we've been sorting out hygiene and kitchen things and clothing to put into welcome packs for the new arrivals.
The camp with its needs is astonishing. It becomes more apparent to the extent by which the situation relies on the goodwill of volunteers. The future of the camp is unclear, especially during an increased level of political uncertainty, but there is no doubting the importance of the work that volunteers do on a daily basis. The basic needs of the people wouldn't be met without their efforts, and I personally wouldn't like to see the whole left should the volunteers stop continuing to come.
It was great to be able to help because it's you see a lot of it on the TV and everything and online, but something else being there and being able to help in a really practical way. It was really great to be able to help pick up litter. You know, some people might say, well, you know, they can clean up litter themselves, but they're not really thinking about that. They're thinking about survival and their kids back home, and they're not really thinking about that sort of stuff. And so it's just a good way for us to help them out and to say that to show that we care.
Would you come back?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll be back. I'm hoping to do a bit in the school at some stage, and so that might be quite fun.